This machine is amazing. And it's because of, I think, BSR, which is the Bernina stitch regulator. No other domestic machine on the market can touch this, hands down. This is why Bernina quilts. So
yeah,
that's why we're showing this first.
This is the foot itself, and it is a presser foot package. The package comes with 3 soles, and I'm going to show you guys those soles in the demonstration here. But yeah, I have to agree, Barbara. It's like, I think the Bernina stitch regulator, it's been around a little while now, but it really is a very special foot because it has a sensor along the bottom of the foot here that senses how fast you move the fabric, and it speeds up and slows down the needle accordingly. And I always liked to use the analogy that using this is like using a KitchenAid mixer to make something in your kitchen versus a hand whisk if you were just doing regular free motion without a stitch regulator. So that was always kind of the analogy that worked for me. And I think it really is a very special foot. You put it on like any other presser foot, so it just goes onto the machine and attaches, and then it will plug into, there's a socket on the back of the machine. And if I'm really good, I can feel this without standing up and moving to the back of the machine. So once I plug that in, this machine is pretty smart. So it's going to prompt me through a few things. So it's going to tell me automatically that I need to lower my feed dogs. So that's on the side of the machine. And once I do that, the screen changes for me, and it kind of navigates me through how to use this. Now, it wouldn't be a Bernina if we didn't give you tons of choices and options and ways that you can set how you use this foot and how you quilt. So we have 2 styles. You can do straight line, you can do zigzag, so you can actually do like thread painting and get really like textural with some things. And you have 2 modes in which the BSR operates, mode 1 and mode 2. Mode 1, simply just the needle will stop moving when you stop moving the fabric. And mode 2, the needle will kind of continually pulse as you move the fabric. And really, I have found that this is just preference on how you like to use it. But I wanted to go ahead, Barbara, if you guys can go ahead and just show that quick video. We made a little 60-second video on the 3 soles of this foot. So we'll watch that, and then I'll do some demonstration.
Wow, what a game changer. I love this foot, Jaime.
It's a lot of fun. And, you know, it's like, I like to practice on small things. So it's like these little printed panels that have the animals on it. This was a Moda collection of, it's a little old, so probably a couple years now, maybe. But I like these little woodland creature animals to do some of this stuff because it's just a fun thing to trace, and you can kind of get your practice in like training wheels, right? So these are a good way to do it. And you can turn these into like little pillows, or you could put them together into a quilt as like a medallion if you wanted to. But like I said, I've got the foot on, and I've got the options of how I want to operate it. But I just wanted to show you some basic techniques. And so I'm going to just kind of trace around. I've already traced around this guy a little bit here for the outline, but I'm going to go ahead and trace around the top of his head with, well, that sole, I actually like to use the open toe sole for. So actually, I think what I'm going to do, I have the closed toe sole on. So I think I'm actually going to add some texture to him first. So I'm going to select the zigzag stitch number 2 that is an option. And of course, you can change your stitch length and stitch width on here as well. So you don't have to just go with what's programmed for the default. But we'll just put a little zigzag to that. And then I like to kind of follow the outline that's in here, or the texture that's in here already. So we'll just add some texture to him. And I am going to work in mode 1. You could run this with the start stop button on the machine, or you can also use your Bernina foot control. But I think it's a good practice. This is how I was taught to always pull up your thread tail when you're doing free motion. So you've got both of your thread tails up here at the top of your fabric. And I'm going to make that just a little narrower, I think. And then I'm going to go ahead and run this with my foot control today. But it's like I said, you have a choice for how you do pretty much everything with this machine. I'm going to raise the foot and I'm going to move those thread tails out of my way. And I'm going to then just run with start stop now. So you can see in mode 1, there's the red light. So now I can see the sensors on, but when I go slow, it slows down. When I move fast, it speeds up.
Wow. And all of the stitches are the same length throughout, no matter how fast or slow you push the fabric. This is gorgeous. So let us know in the comments, everyone. Have you done thread painting with free motion quilting on your domestic machine? And does your domestic machine have the patented Bernina stitch regulator on it? It's fantastic.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this off and I'm going to show the open toe sole. So it's really easy. I mean, you can change the presser feet on a Bernina pretty much with one hand. And then, of course, you know the options of releasing this. Just squeeze the 2 tabs at the side, and then you can slide on the other sole. So this one has the open toe, and that's nice for following a shape. You have nice visibility here. So again, it's kind of preference. Which one you like and which one you might use.
So we asked Jaime in the comments, who's done the thread painting. It looks like a lot of the folks that already have the 790 plus and the BSR have used it, except for one hasn't used it yet. So you need to take that out. Use it on your machine that you have. Use it or lose it. But for the folks that don't have the 790, they haven't done the thread painting.
Yeah, and the thread painting's fun because you can try all kinds of different threads and you can get really creative with you know, how you make that look. And it's just kind of nice. You can see this just adds some texture, you know. So if I want to just add some texture in here, that's kind of a nice way to do that just with that simple little stitch there. I don't know why it was telling me my feed dogs weren't dropped, but they are. So let's just keep going here. So I'm going to go ahead and lower the foot again. I'm going to drop my needle. I've got a button here. I could do this also with my foot control. We've got a feature called the back kick on the foot control that will raise and lower the needle a half step as well. So any Bernina machine, pretty much, some of the entry levels don't come with that foot control, but most of our Berninas have that foot control. And it's a really awesome feature as well.
Chris in the comments says, I have a Bernina B79.
You can see as I speed up, the needle speeds up. And so then all I am doing is basically focusing on the line on the raccoon's face that I want to follow.
That's so easy. You make it look so easy, but it really is with the BSR.
Pretty cool, huh?
I love BSR. It's my favorite. And I love making textures when quilting and just being able to follow a pattern in the fabric that's already there. It makes it magic.
Well, there's one last sole, and it is the clear sole, and it's nice and flat. So this is really perfect for any echo quilting techniques that you might like to try. There's crosshairs in here, so it kind of lines up the needle in the middle position. You can follow these straight lines, and then you've got the different kind of rings at different levels. And so this is nice. It holds the quilt nice and flat underneath it too. So this is a fun one for, you know, your echo quilting. And, you know, it's clear too. So if you like to do stipple, you could use this to do stipple as well. It's not just only for echo quilting. Like I said, it's really sort of about your preference. But I'm trying to basically follow the outline that I just made with this sole. And I can then just kind of echo quilt whatever pattern I wanted to around the background of my little raccoon here.
Gert says, looks really great, would love one. Well, Gert, we can make that happen for you.
All right.
That is beautiful. And I'd love to see it
Barbara.
close up too, so that we can see when you have a stitch regulator on your sewing machine, no matter how fast you move right or left, up or down, the stitch length is regulated and it's consistent throughout, which is awesome.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, it really is like, so you can see right now when I am going really, really slow, it's moving slow, but when I speed up, that needle speeds up.
Yeah, I like to say when you move, it moves.
But my stitches remain the length that I have set, you know, within a range, as long as you are not going so super fast that, you know, you make the machine crazy. But it really does kind of keep everything in that 2.5 is what I've got mine set for. So my stitches all look consistently the same. And I'm just able to then focus on basically where I want to move the quilt underneath the machine.
So you can pull your thread up or use the scissors to trim it up. Generally, when you do free motion, you want to bury your tails. But can we look at that up close?
Yeah, let's see if it will pick it up here. I'll try and show you this.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see the individual stitches, but they are pretty evenly consistent in there.
That's another thing about Bernina that why Bernina quilts, exclamation point, is the quality of the straight stitch. It's because of that vertical hook, it makes an amazing stitch.
Yeah, you get spoiled pretty quick.
Oh yeah.